most important, I think, is what he says next, which is that be of good cheer because he has overcome the world. And I think all of us need to live in that reality that we know that this world is temporary, that we are very much just sojourners, but we should, as men and women of faith, as those that believe in conservative ideology and the founding ideals of this nation, have to continue to speak, have to continue to proclaim truth. And we should do it not from a spirit of fear, but as 2 Timothy 1:7 says, from a spirit of power, of love, and of sound mind. And when it comes to our ideals, when it comes to common sense, comes to ensuring that we stand up for coal and natural gas, our fossil fuels industry, we should never be ashamed of those things. When it comes to our law enforcement community, saying unequivocally that we have to stand up and defend our law enforcement community, and we will never defund the police here in this Commonwealth. And sometimes those things can sound trite, but if you think about New York City, just 20 short years ago, they had a tough-on-crime mayor named Rudy Giuliani, and they had a police chief, Bill Bratton, who believed in the broken windows philosophy, meaning if you address the small things, you prevent the larger societal issues from ever coming into play. But now, 20 years forward, on Tuesday, they stand ready to elect in New York City a socialist, someone who has as a stated part of their platform that he wants to get rid of or reimagine the police. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that when it comes to this race, it's my belief that we need representation in Washington that's simply going to reflect your values. And I hope I've demonstrated as a track record over my time as Attorney General that I will stand up and defend your values whether people are protesting on my front line or not. And I'd certainly be honored to have your help. Again, it's why I'm here with you today and why I'll keep showing up, and you'll see me and all of our sojourners on this particular campaign. But I'd be grateful for your help. May God bless you and God bless our Commonwealth. Thank you so
much. We're going to try a different microphone, see if that works better. All right, we have Congressman Barr next. Come on up.
Thanks, John. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the invitation to be with you all. I'm not sure that.
Yeah, I think it's the cord.
Well, that's okay.
Michael, Daniel, I'll just try to elevate the voice like you guys. Hey, it is awesome to be with all of these great patriots and Republicans from Marion County, Nelson County, Spencer County, Washington County, LaRue County, the birthplace of the first great Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, a true Kentuckian, not Illinois, Kentucky. A lot of you all know Daniel from his service as Attorney General, but over here in this part of Kentucky, you may not know me as well. I have served as the congressman for Kentucky's 6th Congressional District, Lexington, and the 16 surrounding counties in central Kentucky for 7 terms. So I've served with Brett Guthrie and Jamie Comer for these terms, and Hal Rogers. I'm proud to have Hal Rogers' endorsement in this Republican primary for Senate. It's been a privilege of a lifetime to represent the people, the businesses, the individuals of central Kentucky in the U.S. House of Representatives, fighting big government, fighting Barack Obama and Joe Biden, fighting alongside with President Donald Trump to make America great again. But it would be an even greater privilege to get a chance to represent this part of the Commonwealth and the entirety of Kentucky in the United States Senate. I am here today in a very exciting week for the Barr family. And congratulations, Daniel, on yours on the way. But my 4th child, I'm 52 years old. My 4th child was born on Monday. Daniel's excited, and
I don't want to break your news.
Daniel and I are super excited, and you know, Virginia is the 4th reason I'm running for Senate. Eleanor, Mary Clay, and Hale, and now little Virginia. And at age 52, you know, hey, I still got it, guys. And let me tell you what, I just want to tell you, I want to want to tell you, it really is, as Daniel said, it's about our kids. And this idea of the American dream, the idea that the condition of your birth should not determine the outcome of your life. And that is why I'm running. So let me just tell you, for those of you who haven't heard of me or know much about me, I am an 8th generation Kentuckian, born and raised in central Kentucky. All 4 of my grandparents were born and raised in central Kentucky. I'm the grandson of 2 World War II veterans. I graduated from Henry Clay High School in 1992. The University of Kentucky Law School. I was in the private sector where I represented small businesses, typically against government overreach and regulation in my private sector. And I got so fed up with being represented, so-called represented by a congressman who was working with Barack Obama to transform this country into something we didn't recognize, that I decided I was going to run for Congress myself. And people said, you can't beat Ben Chandler. He's unbeatable. He's got a famous Democrat name in Kentucky. He's unbeatable. But I didn't listen to the critics, and I ran for Congress, and in that first race in 2010, we came up short by 647 votes out of 240,000 in a purple swing district in Kentucky. They call it the Big Blue Nation, Lexington. Why? Obama, Obama, Clinton, Biden, Kamala Harris. That's what Lexington is. But I didn't listen to the critics, and I ran again, and we defeated Ben Chandler. We flipped a seat to Republican, and we've held it ever since. Nancy Pelosi knows who I am because she has tried to beat me 7 straight times, and I've defeated her 7 straight times. Okay, we only have 1 minute, so let me just tell you, I was very proud to serve as Donald Trump's chairman of his campaign in 2024. And boy, what a split screen we've got right now. Border security, historic tax cuts, energy dominance restored, inflation defeated, peace through strength restored. And what are the Democrats offering us in Washington? A shutdown, because they would rather pay illegal aliens for free health care, taxpayer-funded health care, than pay our troops. It's a disgrace. That's what's on the line. And I'll just end with this. We owe it to our philosophy to win. These are good men, and you've got, this is competition, and that's good. We're Republicans, we believe in competition. But we owe it to our philosophy to win. I am proven, I'm battle tested, I know the job, I've been there. They've tried to beat me in a swing district 7 straight times, and we beat them every time. I know how to beat Amy McGrath and her money machine. I beat her in 2018, I'll beat her again. And the only way a Democrat can win statewide in Kentucky, ladies and gentlemen, is the way Andy Beshear did it. And he did it by winning my district. I blocked their path. I would respectfully appreciate your consideration in this primary, and I will fight like heck alongside President Donald Trump to make America great again, and we will win. Thank you.
All right, next up is Mr. Michael Ferris. Come on up.
Good afternoon, Nelson County, and thank you for having me. I appreciate you allowing me to come here and speak to you and possibly turn your vote. One thing I always start out with saying is I have a physical disadvantage, which is the beard, because I don't look like your normal politician. But if this was the mid-1800s, I look exactly like your politician. So, you know, I say that because we get a lot of flack about it. But nonetheless, I think we need more beards in politics, to be honest with you. I think it makes you a little bit smarter. Anyway, with that being said, I know a lot of y'all don't know who I am, and basically because I've never been a politician, I've run for any office. So, I was born in Corton, Indiana. I'm not an 8th or 9th or 100th generation Kentuckian in any stretch of the imagination, but I am 100% Kentuckian. And I say that because at 2.5 months old, I was abandoned in Meade County, given to a foster family, a great foster family in Sonora, which is Hardin County. Was with them until I was 3 years old, and then the state, for whatever reason, decided to give me back to my biological mother. From 3 to 12, I lived through what most would call absolute living hell. And luckily, I'd gotten into enough trouble that I guess you could say, probation officer had said, hey, we got to find something to do with this little kid. And so even at 12 years old, I was able to have the intellect to say, hey, we still have an option other than a state program, which is to go back to the woman who initially raised me in my early years. We were lucky enough to convince the biological mother that that was the way forward. went to court, and made it all happen. So from 12 to 18, I worked that farm. From 12 to 18, that farm is still an active farm, and the gentleman here actually leases it. 18 years old, I joined the Air Force to become a helicopter repairer, and realized that that wasn't going to work either, because they breached the contract, and I had to do congressional letters to get them to give my money. So I've been fighting the federal government for a long time, even as a young man. With that being said, I do have an honorable discharge for anybody who's wondering. I did serve on it. So I followed this Black Hawk around the world and have been doing so for about 20 years with small cutouts for fixed wing aviation in Louisville, for 3 of the major airlines that you know today, Delta, American, United, and some oil field work in West Texas. I've always been prone to doing hard work. I mean, that's kind of what I do. Now, with that being said, you know, in 2018, we all kind of know what happened with COVID. And it was a large federal government overreach, is just my whole opinion of the matter. And because I fly through the skies a lot every month, obviously I have to be in that industry. And what Biden did with that industry, transportation as a whole, was, if you remember, tried to force everyone to wear a mask. Due to these childhood traumas, I just simply cannot wear one. So what did I do? I didn't even know I had this condition, but I went to a triple board certified neurologist, had conferences with him, and he gave me an exemption. This is all legal stuff. Supplied that to the airlines, and they told me that I could not fly without a mask because my disability did not qualify. I think that's a problem. So what did I do? I attacked the TSA because they're the one that created the security directive, which allowed them to be the long arm of Joe Biden's law. 2 days later, I ended up on the terrorist watch list, interestingly enough. Luckily, the judge seen through it. We filed a motion, got removed from that pretty immediately. But what I like to tell folks is, if you want any idea of what your government's doing for you today, I filed an appeal that very day they placed me on that list. We're now 4 years separated. I've not heard a single word from the Department of Homeland Security of that matter. The DOT the same. So when the TSA lawsuit didn't work, we filed one against the CDC and 5 major airlines which denied me the service. We're currently winning that lawsuit, and we should be moving into discovery pretty soon. Mind you, because I couldn't find an attorney with a spine who would help me, I did all this pro se, so without counsel. Again, we're currently winning that lawsuit in the Western District of Kentucky under a good federalist judge by the name of Ben Beaton. I think we have a good chance there. With that being said, you might obviously think, well, his agenda is going to be based on that, and it absolutely is. So what I've found in litigating this and looking through the laws of our land is that there's been so much that's come out while you were sleeping and working and enjoying your life as Americans that these other previous politicians have passed that put you at a disadvantage against any large corporation, any politician that stands in front of you. So the road judges are a big problem. I think there's a way to get rid of them. My idea is not as popular with judges and lawyers, but who would have thought it? I think we have a healthcare problem. I think age-based tax credits are the answer under HSA. We let ACA file its own self out once we do it that way. Term limits is pretty important to me. I have signed that pledge. I will be honest with you, I know every one of them before me have run on the same thing. It's been tough to pass. I don't care how we do it, what it looks like, but I think there needs to be a cap, some kind of limit. And then, of course, for everything else, that's pro-America, guns, law enforcement, X, Y, and Z. So we have a website, you have a card on your table. If you want to call me, the number's on the back of it. I thank you for your time. I appreciate your support if you allow it, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Nate did not make it today, so we're going to move into our District 14 candidates for Senate. And you guys get 3 minutes apiece, please. Stephen Carney, you're up first. Yeah, there you go.
All righty.
Well, I'm going to try to do this as best I can without a microphone, for fear that if you hand me a microphone, muscle memory will kick in and I'll start doing this and I'm proud to be doing what I'm doing. I want to make sure that we give the duty that we're stepping up to the due time. You know, I'm Stephen Carney, proudly coming in from Washington County. A little bit about my professional background outside of the political world is I'm a full-time farmer, a professional business owner, and I'm also a Washington County magistrate just over the hill in Washington County. Incredibly proud to be running for the state Senate and taking my proven track record of conservative leadership onto a higher platform The things that I'm really advocating for and talking about in this campaign is what I consider a tripartite platform of law and order, fiscal responsibility, and limited government. The reason why I've chosen these three main issues to be the cornerstone of my campaign is because I believe that these three positions are the three things and the three lenses that we must pass any issue through, and we can assess any issue through these lenses. We can and we should, if we're going to govern based on the core conservative values and govern based on the Constitution, as well as the conservative Christian pro-life values that make us unique as conservatives. So I've said before that I'm a county magistrate. I'm a county magistrate in Washington County. Some of the things that I've done as a county magistrate is advocating based on the issues with conservative common sense. I've advocated against what I consider to be irresponsible spending. I've advocated consistently against tax increases in Washington County. I've also voted against raising my own paid salary that I take as a county magistrate. The reason for this has not been to be contrarian, it's not to be a thorn in anybody's side, but simply as an act of encouraging accountability, encouraging foresight, and encouraging the deliberation. Because the people that we elect to represent us at all levels are executors of the public trust. That's what we should hold them accountable to. I'm Stephen Carney, running for state senate, running on the issues, for the issues. I want to be around here. Greatly appreciate the chance to talk to you on one-on-one. Thank you.
All right, up next we have Mr. Ben Mudd.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here. Again, my name is Ben Mudd, and I'm running for state senate in the 14th district. I'm from Marion County. My wife Brittany's here with me today. We have two beautiful daughters, Emory and Aspen, and much like the others, we're running for the future of the Commonwealth. I'm a pharmacist by training. I own Hometown Pharmacy, or part of Hometown Pharmacy over in Springfield, Kentucky. And I also work in Frankfort for the Kentucky Pharmacists Association. I'm the executive director there. I want to talk a little bit about how I got there from practicing pharmacy every day for 12 years. And I witnessed big insurance companies taking advantage of my patients and our profession. They were driving small businesses out of business. We were seeing pharmacies close at a rapid rate. We hadn't had a pharmacist lead our professional organization in over 20 years. So I left practice to go work in Frankfort to take on that battle. And we've made some good strides there. While I've been in Frankfort, I've seen the impact of good people that want to help small businesses and the people back home. It takes people, and I give a lot of credit to Senator Wise, who believed in his local constituent, the pharmacist there, and took the fight on. And I've seen that in Senator Hickman and the work that he's done to help our district. We have such a strong district from an economical standpoint. I want to keep that strong. I think we need to work with the bourbon industry to keep that strong. It brings so much tourism into this area, and we want to make sure that those people continue to come to Kentucky to spend their money here and create good jobs. I want to focus on healthcare, not on pharmacy necessarily, but on healthcare as a whole. Many of you may know, 1 in 3 Kentuckians are on Medicaid right now. It is bankrupting the state. It is so very expensive. Almost half of the children that are born in this state are on Medicaid when they're born. We got to continue to focus on that and find ways to get those people off of the state Medicaid and onto employers insurance. So I'll leave you with a message of hope and faith as we move forward. I ask for your support. I ask for your prayers as all of the candidates continue to work on this campaign. And I just will end with that. And I want to say God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
All right, Mr. Dallas Robinson.
Hey guys, my name is Dallas Robinson. I live at the corner of LaRue Nelson, Marion. So I have a few 100-acre farm in LaRue County. My daughter is slated to go to Montessori in Nelson County. And I own a few businesses in Marion County. My grandfather fought World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War. He's buried there in the Lebanon National Cemetery, where I'll be buried as well. I decided to run for office solely because Jimmy Higdon did such a phenomenal job. And our district owes him so much. They call him the father of the Republican Party in this area. And I'm a military veteran myself. I spent 6 years serving. I've been invited to the White House, received the highest non-combat medal a soldier can receive. I'm also a Main Street business owner. I'm a farmer, and I was inducted into the Kentucky Hall of Fame as a coach and an educator as well. When I think about what's important, and I think about what our future holds and how one of us will get to carry on Jimmy's legacy, and I look at the opportunity to serve in Frankfort, I think about someone that has spent the majority of their entire career doing exactly that, and that's serving. Not in any type of office, but in the military, in the school systems, on the farm, putting food on the plates of our neighbors. And I think about someone who also has invested heavily into businesses and industry in our district. Just 2 weeks ago, I was voted Entrepreneur of the Year in Marion County. The last 3 years, I turned it down. I was told this year I should probably do it since I'm doing this thing running for office. And so it was an honor to receive that. It's an honor to continue to serve. You know, a couple things real quick. As a farmer and as a veteran, when my friend Jamie called me, Jamie Comer, and said, "Hey Dallas, I'm stepping out as Commissioner of Agriculture. However, we created this brand called Homegrown by Heroes, and I would like to roll this out throughout all the states for veterans, specifically to tell people that this comes from a veteran farmer." I said, "How can I help?" He said, "I need you to go to Washington." I was like, not again. So I went to Washington, and I helped Jamie continue that legacy on, and he asked me to share that story everywhere I go. And so I say that in that with me, you have a friend of the farmers, you have a friend of the business owners, you have a friend of the teachers and educators, and you have a friend of the military veterans and the first responders. I pray that you'll let me continue to serve you and fight for you. If there were a fight in the rodeo arena, in the desert, in this parking lot, or in Frankfort, I want to fight for you. So thank you. God bless you.
And last but not least, Mr. James Victory.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Real quick, Kim, Gina, thank you so much. Both the congressman here and I work for the House of Representatives, so we're not getting paid right now. So I was going to take the rest of that food home for the family. All right, it's getting a little bleak. So guys, my name is James Victory. I am from here in Nelson County. I used to be the vice chairman of this party right here. I really like that logo that's on our signage and on the shirts. It might have a little something to do with it. But I point that out because I want to start with how proud I am of the organization that we have now. Between Gina and John and the rest of the officers and executive committee, guys that are visiting us today, if you understood how hard we work to get this local party in the shape that it is right now, I am astounded. Gina and I have been together, putting together events before where 3 people showed up. They were mostly my idea, they were bad ideas. Once I turned it over to Gina, it looks like the ideas got a little bit better when it came to this. So thank you guys for pushing this party forward. One of our predecessors, Robert Augustine's back there, he did a great job leading the way as well. But I am running to represent the 14th district here. That includes LaRue, Washington, Marion, Nelson, and Spencer County. And although I am from Nelson County, this race is not about which county we are collectively from. You got 4 good guys, all from different places. Jimmy Higdon was from Lebanon, and he represented the entire 14th district with dignity, with class and intelligence, and that's what I expect to do for you guys as well. I'm running on 3 main issues. The first one's going to be property taxes. All of us in this room are touched by property taxes. The average citizen here in Nelson County is paying about $4,000 a year in property taxes, 60% of that going to the local school taxes. Those property taxes are what run all of our critical services that we have here. We need the EMS to be able to go out to New Hope. and to Bloomfield and Chaplin and High Grove. But because of our tax system that we have in Kentucky, it all has to come from property tax and some that we can pull from occupational tax. Well, our county and the surrounding counties within the 14th district and others have invested billions upon billions of dollars. Is that one to go or one down?
One to go.
Oh, Rick, come on. Go. I think you got a call coming. All right. So we need to take advantage of what is available to us through that bourbon industry and look at other ways to tap into that. Secondly, there is something called Title I sustainment funding that goes to local school districts. In the state of Kentucky, every county is supposed to get some. But because we do so well and our houses are so valuable, do you know how much Nelson County is going to get next year? $0 in sustainment funding in Nelson County. We are one of just a handful of counties. It's like us and LaGrange and Boone County and things like that. $0 will be coming back. And finally, our farmers are getting punched. They're getting punched with one hand behind the back and the other used to smack them upside the head because of a system of cost of inputs that is working adversely against them. We have to stop these things. So as your next state senator, that's what I'm going to look towards. And I will end by saying this. Right here in this building, our judge has a vision to make this an agri-science center. And I will want to explain to you, there is one of us in this race who knows how to get that done. And that's me. So I humbly ask you, after I said something very unhumble, to vote for victory. Have a great day.
All right, next up we have our candidates for local office. We'll start with Judge Hutchins.
John, I have to put me on the spot.
Why? You're on the program.
Because I am the county judge executive today, but I never have announced that I'm going to run.
You're on the program.
Well, I'm going to announce it right now that I'm going to run. If you put me on the spot, I'm announcing it today. So thank you, really. And I want to thank John and the Republican local party here that has worked tirelessly and without leaving any names out. Everybody's really worked hard to get us to this level. And I think what is the 5 counties involved in this thing, first time ever, I think it's a pretty nice crowd, don't you think? My wife Gina has worked tirelessly for a lot of events for the Republican Party here in the county in the last year or two, and without leaving anybody out, it has been a lot of work. A lot of time involved, but I don't want to get into all the details. There's a lot more coming. I don't know if I'll have an opponent or not. We've got, I don't know if we've got any magistrates in here. John, you're the only magistrate here, John, I think.
I think so.
But this fiscal court, and we have taken on a lot of challenges, and I feel really good about where we're at. Victor was talking about we've been developing a plan for an agri-science center with the school system here. And at this grant, we got 73 acres here that's very underused. And planning on a convention center and a big arena that's going to provide a lot of events for the local families and education and stuff out here that could be big. It'd be the only one in the state of Kentucky if we can get this pulled off. We're not going to be able to afford it completely locally, but we've been really working on a plan, and it's a really be a very good thing for the community and the surrounding. We have a location in central Kentucky, so we've got a lot of different things working on that. If we can get into roads and bridges and infrastructure, I think we've got the county in excellent shape. But I'm not one to sit back, and I keep writing this down because when you get elected, you find out that you're on a lot of damn committees. And I didn't realize I was going to be on all these committees. But you go around and you're on so many committees, and about statute, and they say, why we do this? That's not the question usually. Because I see something that I ask a lot of questions. So why are we doing it this way? And then Susie will ask to go in and what, go around.
That's the way we always done it. Well, God, that's probably the worst slogan I ever heard. I hate in my entire life. So I have taken on a lot of challenges, and I'm not one to shy away from it. I've been very transparent. I've got my radio show. We take questions, and I print a lot of stuff and Facebook and all that. And you know, I'm the one that I get criticized from some of what I call the old clique. That because I get out and I ask a lot of questions and take them on publicly, but that's just you know, I like to shy away from it because of, matter of fact, in the last 3 or 4 weeks I've been taking on the economic development team and our Encita Corporation and all that because I just don't like the way they've been operating. And I think that's why we've been behind, and that's why we're going to make and we have made significant strides in the last 2 weeks about restructuring that whole division. And without boring you, we've got a lot of problems, I think, in this county with our police department. And I'm not campaigning or running for or against anybody, but the fiscal court puts up $3.8 million in this county for that, supporting it, not counting the funds that go into the sheriff's side. And the budget's been way overstretched and wasting a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I have tried to, I guess, mediate and work it out, but it hadn't worked. So I'm going to the next step. We're going to make a lot of, hopefully, big changes with the fiscal court. And we got to get our finances in better shape. It's just, it's really, I think, wrong the way what's going on. And we're going to make some changes. If I got my way, we're going to make a lot of strong changes. And it's not just in Nelson County. If you look at the Courier-Journal's report, at investigative reporting, they have 1 out of every 6 counties across the 120 that the sheriffs have either been indicted, criminally charged, and in the jail, or in 1 out of every 6 across the county. I talked to a lot of judges, so it's not just here. There's problems around the state. And I've been asked a lot of questions why you want to do it. And I said, well, a good leader leads, they don't follow. And I tell all my kids and grandkids, be a leader, don't be a follower. And you got to get in there and make strong changes and positive changes. And if people get in your way, they either got to get out of the way or get in line. That's what I tell them, because we're going to make a lot more strong changes if I got anything to do with it. So there's a lot more things that we can do, will do. And, it just takes a lot of money. One thing I hit on with, I think 2 or 3 candidates talked about, and Victory said something about it. I'm the only one that's taken on the bourbon industry ever, and this fiscal court supported me. We passed a bunch of new laws and regulations to make sure they had to play on the same playing field as any other business when it comes to planning and zoning. John and I was in mediation all day yesterday over a lawsuit by the bourbon industry, and we got it settled pretty good, but we're going to end up losing $2 million a year in this county over the bourbon barrel tax.
Yes.
After 7 or 8 years, it's going to go south. $2 million. So, you know, there's a lot of good jobs, but I got at the end of the day, they need to help us local people. And
Yes.
we fought that battle. We did get it strung out for 20 years instead of losing it overnight. And it was probably one of the worst, toughest things I've ever been through in my life, fighting that battle in Frankfurt with all these, and I hate to use, I don't want to call it a dirty word, a lot of these lobbyists. And real quick, I'll tell you, I was in one room with them. There's 43 lobbyists in that room, and I was the only one in the front. They called me Judge Hutchins, but the rest of them, he called them by first name. I'll tell you anything. So anyway, I'm not scared to take it on the challenges. That's what we can plan to do and make a lot of things better, and hope everybody else, once you get in public service, please, and I'm telling you, don't remember where you came, don't forget where you came from. You represent the people. It's not about the power, it's not about the money. Do the right thing. If you do the right thing and get your ass beat, you just got to go home. But you don't cave in on your principles. Thank you. All right, next up we have our current wonderful state representative running for state representative.
I'll come to this side. Hello, my name is Candy Masseroni. I'm the state rep for review in Nelson County District 50. But I don't know if James Allen and Ron Bivens have announced it. So if y'all want to come up, I'm going to announce for you guys that you're going to run. Introduce yourself. they're both representatives with me in the House. I guess I'm putting them on the spot here. I'm sorry, James.
That's all right. I'm doing it.
But, anytime. But, yeah, these are some of my colleagues in the House that's also within the Senate district. This one tries to get me in trouble, so I try to hang out with this one. But no, it's been an honor to serve you guys, and if you all want to say anything to the constituents that's here, you're welcome to.
Well, again, I'm James Allen Tipton. I represent House District 53, which includes Spencer and Anderson County. I want to thank the Nelson County Party for putting this event together. It is important. Before I make that statement I'm getting ready to make, I want to thank everyone who has stepped out to run for public office today. It is a commitment. Not only a commitment on yourself, it's a commitment from your family and your friends, and it is greatly appreciated that you're willing to make that sacrifice because you believe in something, that there's something better out there that we can work toward. And it's not an easy job, and I appreciate everybody who works in elected service. Now, I want to clear one thing up. I've served in the House for 11 years, and I was talking to someone this week who said, I heard a rumor you're going to run for state senate. I've heard that a lot recently. But I've got my paperwork at home. I'm going to fill it out this weekend to run for re-election for House District 53. So I currently serve as chair of the Post-Secondary Education Committee in the House. I work a lot on education policy. I'm on the Public Pension Oversight Board, and I feel like that I'm doing a good job there, and I just feel like I'll be in a better position to represent not only my folks in Spencer and Anderson County, but all you guys as well in all of Kentucky. It's great to be here. It's a privilege to serve. It's been an honor of my life, and when I went to Frankfurt, for those who are running for office, one of the first things I told myself was, when I go home at night, I want to be able to sleep at night. And I've been able to do that. The reason I've been able to do that is I'm a person of faith. And if you honor your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in your decisions you make, you're going to be able to go home and sleep at night. And your people at home are going to appreciate it. Our country is facing a lot of challenges right now. And we need people of faith who are willing to stand up to the evil that's out there in the world and say enough is enough. We need to get back to compassion and love and integrity and treating other people with respect and dignity. I don't know about, do I have anybody from Spencer County here? I didn't recognize anybody.
Born and raised.
Okay, born and raised. I'm very good to have you here. But again, good to be over here with you today. And look, whoever Senate District 14 elects, whoever the people elect for our congressional races, U.S. Senate, I'm committed to working with that individual so we can make Kentucky better for all our citizens. Thank you.
And I was just joking about Ryan. He's an amazing guy. So.
Yeah, you say it publicly. I was fortunate enough, so I'm from Ryan Bivens from LaRue County, represent District 24, which is LaRue, Hart, and Greene County. I'm a full-time farmer. Grew up in the Spencer County, right down the road from James Allen, so have roots there. So this is home to me, this area right here. And I tell people, we live in a very special place in Kentucky. This is not a place that you can change out and not want to go anywhere else. You know, I sit and listen to these speakers today, and I don't care if it's for the U.S. Senate seat or if it's for the Jimmy seat. We're very blessed as Republicans because we've got good individuals running. Right? James Allen's exactly right. You got to be able to go home at night and put your head down on the table or head down on the pillow and sleep and have faith. Sometimes it does wind up on the table when you get home late at night. But anyway, when I took on this job, I ran for some of the same reasons I heard mentioned today. I've got a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old. It's not just about my kids, it's about others' kids. You know, you turn on the news, people turn on the news and they think about stuff. I think we've got a hidden gem here in Kentucky. No offense to you guys running for U.S. Senate, but this is a special place in Kentucky is. We're very blessed to have this here, very blessed to have the people. Now, it's a shame. We've got a few that are out there and they're a little crazy. They don't think like the rest of us do. You know, and that's their loss, the way I see it, because I'm thankful that we've got a majority in this state.
But I think it says something about the character of the people in this state because they all think like we do. You know, it's about going back to common sense. It's about doing what's right because it's the right thing to do. I've had people ask me, say, well, Ryan, are you going to run again? You haven't thrown a fundraiser or anything. Well, yeah, I'm going to run again. But I'm just like James Allen said about the Senate seat. I'll work with whoever wins that Senate seat. But you know, when it comes to time that my district says it's time for you to go home, Ryan, guess what? I'm going to go home. I've got another job to go do. I feel like I've done my part. But if I'm not representing those people, and that goes for anybody that's in an elected office, when it comes time that the people is who we work for. When we're not doing our job for the people of that district, it is time for us to go home. We don't put personal preference ahead of what the public wants. There's been many issues back home. I've been asked, hey, would you jump in on this? Give us your opinion. No, I won't do that because I'm not in a position to do that now. I'm in a position, I represent the people, and we work for the people. And I don't care if you're a magistrate, a judge, a senator, state rep, the governor, or who else. A lot of times people forget that. I think everybody that's in here will agree to that. If somebody gets elected, they forget it. And no offense to you four running for Jimmy's seat, I'm really going to miss Jimmy. Kentucky, this district has really benefited from Jimmy Higbee.
Yes.
He has set a standard as far as I'm concerned. He has set a standard for this district. Last thing I want to leave you with, you folks in Nelson County, you should be proud to have this lady up there.
Yes.
Because you see how she ordered me and James Allen to come up. That is what happens every day in Frankfort. And I got to sit beside her in session this year. But now, lo and behold, I don't know why she's moved on to greener pastures because she's moved away from me, so it's her loss. So if she does something out of the way, don't blame me this next year. She's gone to the front row, so you can't blame it on me. I've tried to do my part in the past. But thank you all for putting this together. God bless each and every one of you.
We also have a few other special guests I want to bring up just to introduce, or if they want to say. We got the Supreme Court Chief Justice.
I can still run a little bit. Thank you all. I am Chief Justice Deborah Hembry Lambert, and you can hear a little bit more south in my mouth, and that's because I'm from Bell County originally, but I live in Pulaski County now, and 3 of the counties that are here today are part of my district, Marion, Nelson, and Washington. I also have Anderson, James Allen, and I have Greene, right? And thank you all because you have voted for me for 2 different elections, my Court of Appeals election, my Supreme Court election, and I will be on the ballot again next year. So far, no opponent, but I'm out working for the people and hearing from you all. I actually work for these 3 people primarily these days because I'm preparing about a $500 million budget to kind of get their approval on. So I'll be testifying before them next week. I enjoy my work. Our court is very caught up in our cases. I have fewer than 10 cases in my office, as do most of the other justices. We are a hard-working bunch, and we try to get our cases rendered quickly within just a few months because we know that people are staying up until 3 in the morning maybe, or waking up at 3 dreading to know what might or might not happen with their controversy. So we serve the people. I hope to be on the ballot by myself in November for this office, but either way, I need your support and want your support. Thank you very much.
I want to introduce a couple more people, then I'll get out of your way. We got Robert Augustine, who works for Senator Rand Paul, standing back there. We got our Nelson County PGA, Jay Williams. Our jailer, Justin Hall. DJ and magistrate up there, John Snow. Again, thank you, Gina, Kim, everyone that put this together. So.
All right, next up we do have Justin Hall, Nelson County candidate.
Hey everybody, my name is Justin. I'm a Nelson County jailer. In 2 weeks,
3 minutes, Justin.
well, they told me an hour and a half. I'll keep it under that. Okay. It's been a privilege to serve as y'all's Nelson County jailer the last 3 years. 2 weeks from now, I'll be hitting my 19th year in this business. And the reason I say it's kind of important is that the average life expectancy of somebody is actually 75 years, but if you are a corrections manager, it's 59. So I'm just saying that, you know, all this gray that I got, it's coming, right? One thing I would like to say is that this business has changed exponentially over the course of the years that I've been in. You know, not only as a jailer, I have to look out for the people that's in my custody. I have to make sure their constitutional rights are protected. I also have to look out for the community. I have to look out for my staff. So while somebody gets arrested on a hideous crime and everybody's like, you know, let's burn them at the stake, my job is to keep them safe and, you know, and make sure that their court process gets, you know, all the way through. One thing that I'm extremely proud of, I took over a mess. I took over one of the worst jails probably in the state of Kentucky. Our jail inspector, who covers 13 jails, says that ours was the absolute worst, bottom of the list out of every jail that he inspected. 6 months' time, when we had our first inspection, he went through and he was like, I cannot believe what you've done to this place. And he said, we're now on the top 3 of every jail that he inspects in our whole region. Another thing, historically, the jailer position has been an out of sight, out of mind thing. You elect a jailer, you know, as long as there's not an escape, you don't really care about it, and you just kind of move on with life, right? But I'm not about that. You all pay me to do a job. I want to let you all know what's going on. That's why I'm so active in social media. You all probably see the stuff I post about the jail if you follow me. I have a humorous side that sometimes gets me in trouble, but I'm very open about the stuff that we do at our jail. You know, we have started, when I took over the jail, we had 2 programs. We now have 15.
1 minute left.
1 minute left, okay. And we have 15 now, and also we've cut about $500,000 out of the jail's budget while increasing the staff's wages and everything else that's going on. So I appreciate your all support here coming up. Like I said, you get what you pay for. I let everybody know how I do things. My phone number's public. And one thing before I forget, I was talking to Dallas back there, and he said the one thing he left out was that he was an Olympian, and I was the Olympian water boy. So okay.
All right. Last but not least, we have Mr. Jerry Culver. He is our
Thank y'all for having me today. So first, for those who don't know me, my name is Jaron Culver. I was born and raised here in Nelson County, the Tri-County area. I graduated from Bethlehem High School in 2011, and I went to high school with my wife here. We raised our 4 children here in Nelson County, and I have 12 years of local law enforcement experience. I started my career in Nelson County Jail, and I have 12 years of military experience. When I decided to run, me and my wife talked about it. We were very busy. I have 4 young kids. I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and 2 twin girls there too. So when we decided to run, I asked her what she thought her thoughts were, and as busy as we are, she said, yes, let's do it. So when I decided to run, I was at U of L at Southern Police Institute, the administrative officers course up there, and my buddy actually asked me, he said, hey, what do you think about what's going on in Nelson County? And I'm not going to comment on that, but he told me I should run for Nelson County Sheriff. So as the sheriff, by winning this election, I want to focus on improving the working relationship with the jail, with Barr Police Department, which is where I work right now, with Kentucky State Police, and I want to improve the transparency of the department as a whole, and I want to change the culture. Policy is one thing, but culture is something that is very hard to change. In saying that, I've always been a hard worker. I've never been out in the spotlight by any means because I've always cared about crimes that matter. throughout my life, I've had things that have affected me as a kid, and one of those things is drug usage. So my family history is drug ridden, but that's why I do my job, because I care about that kid that was me at one point in time. Sorry. So my whole career I focused on getting these drugs off the street after handing these criminals 1 minute, right? And doing the job because I wanted to. So I've never been in the spotlight. I'm not doing this for me. I don't care about the title of sheriff. I'm Jaron Corbett at the end of the day. I'm doing this for the community and to improve law enforcement in Nelson County and the working relationship with everybody. Once I'm elected, I'm going to recruit local guys, and I really want to get the best champion I can get and really feed off each other. As Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, man sharpens man. I appreciate you guys. My information is on the table. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I was a little shaky, but I'm not a politician, I'm a leader. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you all.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Daniel came in. She is our current coroner, and I'm assuming she's taking her head. I don't want to assume, you know. But thank you for coming. We appreciate you. You want to say something? Come on up.
I'm Daniel Klodick. I'm your county coroner. Took over 3.5 years ago. I've totally changed the office. It is now under law enforcement setting. It is not in a funeral home anymore. And that was the biggest fight with our community, is trying to change it from that setting of 50 years or more to what it is now. I started in law enforcement in 1983, and forensics was just the popular thing coming into the setting. So I've gone from law enforcement to medicine and back to law enforcement again throughout the years. So I've got all of that experience as your coroner to give you a good cause and manner for your person's death. We also have a grief support group for the community, so that way your loved one can come to their community setting, and it moves around to the different areas within the community. So we're in New Haven, Bardstown, New Hope, Bloomfield, wherever. And we are there so your persons or your families can come out of their homes to visit with people that are dealing with the same kind of thing, and neighbors helping neighbors. So it's kind of the old-fashioned kind of setting that I did, you know. Our office is always open to any calls or questions, so please feel free to reach out to me at any time, and I'm there for you. So I am also not a politician. I am down to earth, and I will talk to you about anything and everything, so please feel free to call me. Thank you.